T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Follow us on Instagram.
You better follow me.
At Philly Jam 95.3 FM.
Good evening and welcome to the Rebirth on Philly Jam's 95.3 FM. I'm your host, Shay Marriott, and joining me tonight is my...
Hey, it's your boy Eli Isabel, a.k.a. The South Got Something to Say. Shay Marriott, what's good? Rebirth?
What's good, man? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy rainy Monday.
You know what? I like the rain.
Yeah.
The rain's all right with me.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. I just said happy rainy Monday.
Happy rainy Monday. How are you? What's up?
I'm good. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Once again, we appreciate you tuning in every Monday night at 7 p.m. to the Rebirth.
Yes.
Make sure
do
you.
it without you.
I know that's right. Make sure you follow us on iHeartRadio and wherever you get your podcasts. Tonight we have three amazing young ladies in the building. We're going to be talking about the dating challenges of 2022.
What's going on in these streets?
Yes.
As they say. What's going on in these streets, y'all? We're going to get to it. Don't say nothing yet.
We're going to get to it. So if you want to be part of the conversation, make sure you give us a call at 267-908-3166. Again, that's 267-908-3166. You are listening to The Rebirth on Philly Jams 95.3. How was your weekend, Eli?
Hey, my weekend was pretty good. So, of course, it's football season. So the kid
y'all
is back.
lost, right?
Well, listen, I'm not watching
Let's just
football.
get right to
I'm
it.
not watching professional football this year. I'm talking about my
What?
daughter's football game.
Oh, well, the Cowboys was on last night, though.
I heard about that.
You didn't watch it?
I told you I wasn't watching football this year.
Why?
Well, it's a long story, but actually, I'm just sick of the heartbreak and watching every year, so I wanted to give myself an emotional year off. Can I be great? And I'm glad I did in light of what I heard last night.
Okay.
Don't get happy because y'all won. Y'all beat the damn Lions.
I was just
Knock it off.
asking. Why are you hating?
You're trying to be funny.
I was not. All I said was, y'all lost last night. That's all.
You know I'm a Cowboys fan and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Okay.
So now there you go. You're picking at me.
You need some therapy.
Out. So Friday night. It's football season, so I'm Friday Night Lights. I'm there supporting the kid every Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday I slept all day due for unforeseen reasons. I literally you ever lay down so long your butt be sore? Like you be like, damn, I've been laying down all day.
Only when I was in the hospital.
I remember that. You was broke down.
I was broke down.
You remember how your toenails were?
Don't even try it.
You know you was in there for like 3 weeks, and then I saw your feet. I was like, what the?
Yo, you need to quit. You know my feet always done. Don't even try.
They wasn't done in St. Francis.
Now, do you want me to tell you why you was stretched out all
You
weekend?
ain't gotta tell people my business. My business. That's why it's called my business. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good, man. It was the pre-celebration of my big birthday coming up on Thursday.
See, you got a tattoo.
Yeah.
grown?
Well, I am.
All right now.
I am. I got 50 years in this game.
Hey, you know what? That's a blessing, man.
It is. Thank you.
Tosh trying to clown the 5-0.
Hey, listen, I'm embracing it. I am embracing it. Yeah, it was a great weekend. My boys took me to the Sugar Factory for a pre-celebration since I'm not going to be around
Very
for
nice.
my birthday this week. So
Can I just say one thing about you? I'm going to go Bryson. I know Xavier's the same way. I mean, Xavier. I'm going to go Bryson. Xavier wasn't here. I just peeped out how you guys interact in a relationship. It reminded me so much of me and my mom. Like that whole loving, like he really is like a great kid. So you are raising An amazing man. I had to give you
Thank
props about that. I watched
you.
the other show back. I was like, well, damn.
Thank
It
you.
reminded me of little Eli and Rosie.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate
Made me
that.
get a little sensitive in my chest.
Yeah, yeah.
Chest
I
got a
know.
little tender.
I know it did.
I fought through it though. I ain't cried in the car. Nah.
That's all good. No, I appreciate that. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. So
Yeah.
let's get into it.
Yeah, you got it right here, right now.
I have it right here, right now. I gotta wait for Tasha though.
So while we waiting for Tasha, I just want to remind everybody that September is Suicide Prevention. It's a Prevention Awareness Month. So, guys, make sure you check on if you or somebody that is in need is having thoughts of suicide, please call 988 for the Suicide Crisis Hotline. Or if you are in need of therapy, make sure you reach out 302-292-1334. All right, let's get into it.
All right. So, let me wait for the thing. Oh, all right.
I'm gonna need you to
I
keep
need
up.
I need a cue. Tasha be killing me over here. All right,
Special.
slow it down. Make me go into my my overnight DJ voice. Anyway, tonight's right here, right now, y'all. Unless you've been under a rock, which I say that every week, huh? You know, Queen Elizabeth II passed away over the weekend at 96 years old. And for one, I don't care.
Did you just?
Let's be clear. Yeah, that's right. Burr, 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 give her that. So for one,
Wow.
I don't care. And here's why I don't care.
Okay.
And here's why people in this country, I'm stunned at, like, people in this country care about the British monarchy and that family so much. I don't get it. However, I think we must not forget about this family who has taken away, pilfered and taken away from Barbados, St. Kitts. This stuff was all done under the British monarchy, and before she came into power. But these are people who took colonialism to a whole nother level, and they kind of took for their own gain and their own power. We must not forget that. And that was a long time ago. But now let's not also forget about the Queen and the comments about Meghan Markle and this little baby who will never have the opportunity to be. Is it a boy or girl? Is it a boy or a girl? No, I'm talking about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's child. It's a girl or
I
a
can't
boy?
remember.
No, they only got one child. They do? Okay. So neither one of these black babies will ever have the opportunity to be the queen or the king of England due to their not having a pure aristocrat bloodline that they normally link up with. So let's take a minute and dive into that. As people celebrate her greatness, she ruled for 70 years, 7 decades, with very little actually political power. She was more so of a figurehead, to be completely honest. But to me, I'm not quite sure why we're celebrating. That's like, to me, it's the same as celebrating Christopher Columbus. This country and countries around the world are notorious for celebrating people who have done damage to to people, to the land, and stolen and taken away from others. So, Shay, any thoughts on the Queen? And as long as we can, how they keep her? First of all, how they keep a white person? She's not gonna have a funeral for a whole week. You know, white people have to go in 2 to 3 days. How is that working out? First of all, what kind of embalming fluid they got over that one? You know, she purple right about now. You got to get them in the ground. We all know. Am I lying? Cam has white. You know, Cam. When a white person from your side of the family die, how quick is that funeral? It's pretty fast. They died, next day funeral. So if you can't get there, that's on you. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
So what kind of embalming fluid is that?
Yeah, that's
I want to drink some
royalty.
of this shit. Yeah, and then you talk about if they can keep a body like that, you know how high we could be?
What
If
is
you were
up
to
with you
sip-
in this highness?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, world. I'm kidding. Where'd you go? I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, I definitely agree. So, yeah, she's been around for a long time.
96 years old.
Yeah, and she was ruling for 70 of those years.
Since she was what 26?
26.
Can you imagine? That's
Yeah.
all you've done your whole life.
Yeah, 70 years she was queen. That's a long time.
And she had like some kind of event the day before. She looked great. And she died. No, it would. They showed it.
You said
24
she-
hours later, it was a wrap.
So she looked great. Okay.
She looked good. I mean,
Okay. Well, all right. So that was right here, right now.
all right. Let me move on. Because I don't like people who mistreat other people, other countries.
No,
and
for
take.
sure.
So, you know, low key.
For sure. I know Snoop Dogg went online on Instagram saying something about how she saved him from getting kicked out of the country.
You still not getting a pass to the cookout, ma'am. I don't give a shit about that. You shouldn't be smoking weed in other countries. This ain't Amsterdam, brother. So you shouldn't have did that.
Facts.
I lost my Black History thing for tonight.
It's okay. It's
So
all good.
I had it. I really did. Okay, let's get into this show. Let's introduce some people that are sitting around us. As a matter of fact, we're gonna have them introduce themselves. And if there's anything you would like to promote, there will be your time. If you have where people can reach you on social media, if you want to pick up some followers, I don't know. We talking about being single. There's some brothers out there watching. You never know. They might like a girl with a little fuchsia on the head. They might like a girl with the wavy top.
You know
they
what?
They might like a sister with the twist. So we're gonna give everybody an opportunity to jump out there. So to my left, please introduce yourself, our first guest.
Hi, I'm Veronica.
What do you do, Veronica?
So I'm a social worker that works in hospitals.
All right. Shout out to the social
She got
workers.
a job, y'all.
Yes.
She got all her teeth. Let me see. She got a side teeth.
That's right. Don't
Talk that
forget.
talk, sis.
MSW.
Talk
Yes.
that talk, sis.
That's what's
Just
up.
on the license.
Okay.
Working on the license.
Okay.
Black girl magic.
And my social media handle, my Instagram is sweet.legacy.
Sweet.legacy. All right. Okay.
I feel like I need to do that after that.
Yes. And how long are you single?
Yeah.
How long have you been single?
I'm not single.
Oh, I thought you said yeah. Oh,
No.
okay.
I thought you said yeah too.
I
No,
know.
not anymore. No.
Oh,
new
okay.
relationship. Yeah, I'm
Wait.
newly. It's been a month.
Oh, girl,
last week.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
All right. Well, we're going to get back to that conversation.
Yeah, we coming back to that thing. That thing fresh and
Next.
Hi, I'm Cambria.
Hi, Cambria.
Hi, happy back.
new. Cam's a friend to the room. She been on with us before. All right. Talking to the mic, ladies.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Wilmington. I'm 29 and
Okay.
I'm single.
All
Come
right.
here.
All right. All right.
Single as a dollar
Awesome.
bill.
Thank you.
Last but not least, my girl.
Hi, I'm Paige.
All right,
Hi,
Paige.
Paige.
What do you do, Paige? What's your stats?
I'm a family service advocate. At
Okay.
Head Start. We are enrolling.
Nice.
There
nice.
it is. We
Nice.
need them. So welcome to the show, ladies.
Wait a minute,
Oh, I'm
Paige.
sorry.
Are you single?
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
Say it with your chest.
She had.
yes.
All right.
Okay,
Lord,
all
She
right.
said it like that.
All right. Well, welcome to the Rebirth, everyone. Welcome to the Rebirth. And those that are just joining us, if you are now tuning in, we are talking about the dating challenges of 2022. And we have Paige, Veronica, and Cam in the building.
Paige, Veronica, Cam.
Yeah, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
I see you need to look around to cover everybody.
Yeah. So you said you were newly in a relationship. So prior to you getting into this relationship, how long were you single?
So we've been together. We started talking in June, and then we officially got together in August. So
Okay.
since January to June, I was
Okay.
single out in these streets, sadly.
She said, out in these streets.
Was you acting up?
Okay.
That's my business.
All right. See, your
What
business
you
is
say?
your business.
Exactly.
That's why I ask the questions now. You just answer them. Okay.
So prior to you getting into this relationship, what was it that made you feel that this was the person you wanted to make a commitment to?
Honestly, this sounds so bad, and I feel like the standards are so low for me. But he didn't make a move on our first date. He
Okay.
paid for the first date. He opened the door. He didn't kiss me. He didn't try to like hold my hand. He set boundaries, kind of. Like he was like, "Are you comfortable with this?" He took him to a nice restaurant. It was nice.
Okay.
It was fancy.
Very nice.
And usually, like, that's not, I don't experience that. So that was pretty good. And it was the conversation. It was kind of like his goals, his dream. He had a car. He had a car.
The standards are low out here in these streets.
It's hard out here. He had a car. He had
So
a job.
for him to show all of that to you, what boundaries and what standards did you have for yourself?
I'm telling on myself. I feel like it was low, but it was still, I was getting there. It was kind of like I was working on myself, going to therapy, kind of like getting my mental health right. So after I did that, it was kind of like I gained more confidence in myself.
Okay.
So yeah, it was love because of my self-esteem, but we're good now.
Okay.
Amen.
All right. All right.
I was gonna mess with you, but I'm not now. I like you already.
he
You
gonna,
all right
he
with
gonna
me?
come back to you. Trust me.
Oh no.
Okay. So,
Let's go to hold
Cam-
on. Let's go to
Cam?
Paige.
oh, go to
Let's
Paige.
go to Paige
Okay.
next.
Okay.
Cause Paige, listen, let me tell you something. Paige is one of the first of all, Paige is she dresses every day. We have a competition daily, where she comes at me. She might hit me with the left or the right, and have me wobbly. Then the next day I'll get Paige. But we stay at it. So Paige is very fly and she's very confident. I love Paige's confidence and how she moves. And Paige is never without a man too long. If she decides and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying Paige pimp hand is strong.
Okay.
So let's
Paige.
recognize that off the top.
Sure is.
Paige. Cam though, am I lying, Cam?
I be
All right, thank you. Paige. Now that you're newly single, what are you looking for? What are these guys doing out here in these streets? Like, what are you looking for? What do you think men want? And whatever that is, do you think you have that?
You asked her 4 questions.
I know.
At the
feel
same
free
time.
to- and Paige, you don't have to answer them all in that order. What do men want out here, Paige? What's been your experience? What's going on?
Just from my personal experience, they want a woman who's, she's independent. Well, let me not say independent. She has her own. So when I mean own, like she has a job and sometimes a car, sometimes a house. It just all depends.
So so you being where you are, education, employment, I'm sure you seem like you're very fiscally responsible. I don't know that for sure.
Yes, I mean there's some things that for myself that I want to reach my goals.
Right.
But for the most part, I feel as though I'm the full package.
Okay. So what do you think is the issue? Is it guys don't know what they want? They don't recognize what you bring to the table? Or what do you think it is? What's some of the challenges out there?
Just from previous experiences, sometimes I tend to lower my standards, and I shouldn't do that. I should let people meet me where I'm at.
Okay.
Why do you do that then? Why do you lower your standards?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there are just sometimes, and I'm just gonna speak for myself, and as a black woman, sometimes I'm gonna be honest, it is hard to date because sometimes our men don't want us, and other men and races don't want us. I'm not saying that there are men who don't, but sometimes it's just hard. It's just hard out here.
Wow.
And I know there are good men, so I'm not saying like there's not good men. So for the men who are listening, I know there's good men out here, but it's a struggle, a little bit of a struggle.
Okay.
What were, like, I would say 3 main things, and as this is a question for all 3 ladies, what are 3 main things that you look for in a relationship that's important for you? We'll start with you.
For me, I'm big on honesty, communication, and respect.
Okay. Cam?
Same 3. Just respect first, honesty. So same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about you?
I want to say same thing, but if it could be like a bonus, I want to say goals. You have to have goals in life.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that you have to have goals, something that drives you to do better. So I guess it'll be communication, honesty, and goals.
Okay.
Which of those things are the most hard to find in a man, as far as your each individual experiences? Which one has been the hardest to find? Honesty, the goals, the respect, communication. Yeah.
People don't know how to talk these days. Sorry. People don't know how to talk these days. Just be honest and what your intentions are is what is a big problem that I'm finding. So just being honest in that moment and just making sure the communication's open, because what if something could be solved just by talking? So
Absolutely. So we've heard it before that we've had these discussions that men sometimes have an issue with conveying their feelings and stuff, and we've talked about where it comes from and all of those things. So, as a man sitting here amongst all these beautiful women, what advice would you give these ladies in regards if they dealt with someone or they are dealing with a man that is having a hard time conveying his feelings and emotions to him?
I would say with men, you have to be patient. And like I said, we've talked about this a million times, that we weren't raised to be express ourselves. We weren't raised to share how we feel. Like when you're a boy growing up, you're taught to suppress your feelings. If you're hurting, if you fall, you hurt yourself. Or if you're hurting emotionally, you're taught to not express that. Stop acting like a girl. You're being soft. So you have to take into consideration that men go their whole formative years being told to suppress their emotions, their feelings, their hurt, and their pain. And then we jump out here and now we're trying to be somebody's boyfriend and husband. So, and it may sound like an excuse, but it's just kind of the truth. Especially, I can speak for our culture. I mean, it's your sudden fall, or what do you guys say? Get up, stop crying, you acting like a girl. So you hear that enough. How do you now prepare yourself to be open and honest and share your emotions with a woman? You weren't trained that way. So I think number one, to be patient with men in that aspect. Now, if this man is 35, 40 years old, then damn, brother, you got to learn how to communicate by now. But like you ladies are all younger. So I would say dudes in their mid to late 20s and sometimes 30s, early 30s, don't necessarily expect these great communicators because, and now you throw in the texting, social media, people don't know how to talk in front of another person and express themselves because everything is a quick little blurb and that'd be the conversation. So keep in mind, men are now raised without knowing how to share their feelings, but now they don't even know how to communicate in person. Oh, I'd rather text. I mean, has anybody ever heard that before? Like you want to get to know somebody and talk on the phone. Oh no, I text. Like what the hell is that?
Red flag.
I
So
find
you're up
that's
against that.
yeah. I find that's someone that actually really doesn't want to connect with you emotionally. You know, if somebody really want to connect and they're intentional about connecting with you, unless they're a doctor or maybe possibly a therapist, because we have patients and clients and stuff, but that's not all the time.
Right.
That's just during work hours. But they're not trying to really be with you like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it definitely is a red flag.
And we make time for what we want to make time for, right?
Absolutely.
And I think we have to always remember that. Don't let anybody play you like, oh, I'm so busy. No, when you first meet me and you put the heat on me and you want some, you got all the conversation in the world. So be mindful of that too. And I would say also, pay attention to how they interact with the women in their lives, sisters, moms, and all of that. That's very important. If they, and I say this all the time, but I just feel like I'm just really like I feel really like strong about this. If a dude is disrespectful to his mother, or even if she wasn't the greatest mom, that's still his mom. If you can't stay away from her. Then you don't need to be in a situation where you have this toxic energy with your mother and you're calling her B's and H's, F you. Like I know people who talk to their mother like that. So if they do that to the person that they came out of, what would they say to you? Keep that in mind.
So, what are some of the challenges you ladies have been faced with on this dating scene? You want to share? You have any crazy dating stories?
Sorry, I wrote some stuff down.
Oh, all right. Okay,
Bring
let's
the noise.
get it.
Preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I feel like I'm having now is people not being honest with their intentions. So I'd rather you be honest and tell me, what are you trying to get out of this, whatever this is going to be, and let me decide whether or not I want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Don't try to control the outcome. So I just think we need to start right there.
Yeah,
So.
that's a big one.
Yeah.
Are dudes like really trying to move fast? Like they meet you on Monday, they're trying to swing by Tuesday night. Is that still how it's rocking out here?
Yeah, some
Definitely.
dudes.
Definitely. But it takes work. So you have to be able to, like, we said communication. You have to go out and date. You can't just, I don't want you texting me every day saying, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? That's not how you get to know somebody.
Yeah.
You go out and you go in these different, situations where, like bowling, see how competitive you are.
Right.
I don't know, like go ape or something like that, where you're like hiking or whatever. Are you scared like of snakes? Or are you scared of heights or whatever? You have to see how people are in these different situations.
Canoeing is a good one. Because you
Yeah,
have
or
to
can
work
you
together.
swim?
You have to work together as a team, and it requires conversation when you're out there in the canoe. So I know a lot of couples retreats, they use canoeing as an activity for husband and wife or partners or whatever, because you'll be paddling one way, the other person is paddling. If you're not communicating, you're going in a circle and you're not getting anywhere. So it really shows you either how strong or weak your line of communication
These are like
is.
TV dates.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Rella Delic and Shonda Johnson. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So Where are you guys meeting your dates now? Are we doing online dating? Are we
Club.
doing the old fashioned way? Like what are we doing? How'd you meet your boo?
Met him at the
So
club.
it's the advertisement. So I met him on Bumble. So I don't go out. So I actually met
Okay.
him on Bumble.
Okay.
Bumble.
Okay.
BUMBLE.
So meeting him on Bumble.
You heard of that?
What? Yeah.
You newly in a relationship too. Your ass is probably on Bumble too.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
I ain't mean to touch that.
You was trying to throw somebody under the bus. Whatever. Anyways, keep telling you this ain't about me. Anyway, so when you're dating from apps, okay, is there any like, are you nervous about meeting these people? Are you scared? Anybody else do online dating?
No.
You guys? Okay.
I have in the past.
You haven't had? Okay. So my question is, what precautions do you take, especially if you're meeting up with this person? How long do you have conversation before meeting them in person? And, you know, what does that first date look like? I have a lot of questions in regards to that.
So my boundaries are no one's coming to my house. We're meeting in a public location. You can have my number, but if something goes crazy, I'm blocking you. I usually wait I think it was like a week or almost a month until I met I actually physically met my boyfriend in person. But we FaceTimed, we text, we did all of that before we kind of met in person to realize if this is the thing or not.
Okay.
But yeah, no one was coming to my house
Okay.
on the first date.
I don't blame you.
Because that's a signal. If you're trying to come to my house, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
You don't need to be coming to my house because I know what you want.
So meeting them on an app, what does that first date? Now, was that first date the fancy restaurant, or was that like
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
he went all out.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And it was a restaurant downtown. Like, we met downtown. 'Cause he even asked me, like, do you want me to pick you up? I was like, I don't feel comfortable with that. I'm just going to drive there. He was okay with that. But, yeah, he picked the restaurant. He picked everything. Like, he picked everything.
Thought out.
He took the lead.
Okay.
Yeah. Then that was also something new that guys don't do before. Do now. Some guys.
Okay. All right.
You're very straightforward. I think this is why you're gonna be okay. Cause no, seriously, like you're not. If you did it the way you're telling it to us, like you're not really playing any games out here. Like, no, these are my boundaries. And if a man is pursuing you and he respects that, then he'll be okay. You will know because that won't drive him away. And this obviously didn't push this guy away. This guy, your guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not call him this guy. Casey Washington. No offense, brother.
What about you with the online dating?
So it was probably maybe about 3-4 years ago, but same thing. Like we talked for like a month, a lot of FaceTime and phone calls, and he was actually from New York, and he came down here.
Okay.
And
Oh,
he paid for his own hotel and everything, and we met at a location.
Nice.
that's effort right there.
Yeah.
That was
All right.
effort.
So, what did your first date look like?
I think we went to Applebee's,
Okay.
and I met him there.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking these questions because you figure if you're online and you're dating, I'm gonna say more so probably the men. They have several dates that they're probably going on, right? And the women too. So if you're doing on that first date fancy restaurants every date, that money tends to run a little bit low, right? So what does that, do you meet at a coffee spot? Do you meet at like something that's kind of low key where if you're not feeling a person, you just like, okay, I'm out. It was nice.
I gotta use the
seeing
bathroom,
you.
and then you don't come back.
Well, no. But I'm just saying something that's less, and it's inexpensive and it's
Right.
more like, let me see if I like you first before we actually
Get to know
do
you.
a real date. That's not what happens.
Doesn't happen for me, but I can appreciate a good coffee date.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that should be a
Yeah.
little breakfast. It doesn't take long to eat breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little, make a variety of things.
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate a coffee date.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think men assume that women want like all of this high price, this very expensive situation the first go around? Do you think men think that that's what women want, and which keeps guys from asking women out? Because there are some women who I don't eat that. I only eat here. Like Paige could do Applebee's. She did a very high end place. So which is great. Like, but you think some men think that women they have to have a certain amount of money to date? or they try to lowball you and be like, nah, we going to.
I think that's an excuse. I'm be honest. It's
Okay.
kind of like you have to gauge the girl. So if the girl goes to Marshalls or goes to TG Maxx or something kind of like not low budget, but like in the medium, you can ask them, and it's a simple question. Communication comes in key. It's kind of like, hey, what places do you like to eat? If they something high end, then that's not the girl, and you don't got the budget. That's not the girl for you. But
That is
if
true.
it's something like Applebee's or like Bahama Breeze, kind of like, oh, okay, then you're kind of like not simple, but you're kind of.
But that's
I
in the-
like,
that's
I
in the
like
middle.
Bahama Breeze. I like their
too.
wings. They got some good Jamaican wings.
It's all about the effort.
I'm just
What are you
saying.
putting into, are you asking first? You know, are you taking the initiative? You know, to plan out the situation, which is what people are lacking, in my opinion.
And I also agree with for the first date, it should be something small because again, what if you don't like the person?
Yeah.
So I don't think you should spend $500 for a plate. I'm not saying do McDonald's. Let's not do that. But you know, we could do.
You want a Happy Meal?
But we could do like
Not since I was 8.
but we could do like Applebee's, Fridays. You know, something cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And you know what? Here's what men, I think, fail to do. Like that effort Ken was talking about. You know what? A $15 bottle of wine, a blanket, and some sandwiches in a park is a hell of a date. And we sit there and just communicate. I think I think either dudes overthink it or they don't think about it at all. They just trying to get to the crib. So a lot of times there's no middle ground. It's like I'm trying to
Shannon
smash.
did that for me.
What, he smashed
On that
off the top?
No,
What you talking
the
about?
second
Oh, my bad.
date. Are you serious?
You say I said dude
You
just want
don't
to smash,
shut
and
it
then
up.
you said Shannon. All right.
No, no. The whole picnic thing, yeah.
And that was dope, right?
It was real dope.
And what
Absolutely.
if you had to guess what that date cost off the top of your head? $50?
Well, it was all seafood. You know, he cooked, so yeah, he did. It was all seafood. He cooked. Yeah.
But it wasn't
But
like
it was
no
very
$300-$400.
thoughtful. No,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely not.
And it was nice.
Yeah,
I think men need to
I
think
like
about
thoughtful. I like thoughtful dates, and putting thought behind it. Like it's so many nice things. So I'm a candle person. I love candles, scented candles and stuff like that. You have a place in Philadelphia where you can go to and you make your own candle and drink wine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow,
that's really cool. It's cool for a first date. It's
What's
cool.
that called? That's cool for right now. What's that?
I don't know.
You've been around for a minute.
We can look at that later, but
Let me Google them.
just things that's different, but thoughtful.
Right.
So
I like that. All right.
So you're listening to the Rebirth on Philly Jams 95.3. If you would like to join the conversation, give us a call, 267-908-3166. We're talking about the dating challenges in 2022.
So, what's the best date you've been on, and tell us about the best date that you had with a young man or woman, not to offend anyone.
Sorry.
This is not a politically correct show. We want to make sure everybody knows. Everybody's included. What's the best dates you've ever had?
Gosh, it's been a long time since I even been on a date. I don't even know. I don't know.
Okay.
I know it sounds horrible. I have to give it a think. Come back.
Do you know the
What's
worst?
that?
Sometimes the worst comes before
You
the
ever got
best.
left at the
I've
movies?
never had a bad. You know, I did have a bad date. So one time, I'm talking about him. Oh well, whatever. So this one time, I met him at Fairmount Park in Philly for some frat thing or whatever. So obviously a bunch of people there, and we ended up being with each other all day. And I was like, get me out of here. Like, we all traveled together. Like, I wasn't in my own car. And it lasted for like 10 hours. It was crazy. And I actually ended up calling this other guy. I was like, please come pick me up. And he came and got me. So I don't, too much time.
10-hour date?
Yeah, we ended up going to the park. Then we ended up going out to dinner. And then we ended up going to this club. It was just a lot. It was a lot.
A lot going on. 10
I don't
hours.
want to be with nobody
Wow.
that long.
I
Yeah.
never saw him
God
after
damn.
that.
That was it.
That was it.
Wow.
That was my worst date. And now that I'm thinking about it, I had a really good best date with him too at the same time.
Oh, wow.
The
Okay.
same day?
No, this is another day. This was before that.
So how long was that date?
It was a couple hours too. We ended up doing like brunch hopping. We brunch hopped in Philly.
Kim, you're a serial
Nice.
long dater.
I am. I like to talk.
Brunch
I'm a
hop is
communicator.
cool. That's different.
it's
Yeah.
fun.
That's
Brunch
different.
hop. I never heard
Brunch
that.
hop.
Okay.
Mhm.
Brunch shopping.
So I don't want to say this was a bad date, but I had went on this blind date before. Oh man.
Had all the limbs.
So the guy was like, he was a nice looking brother. Like I said, it was a blind date, and when I walked into the restaurant, let me make this clear. This was a few years ago. This was a few years ago, so I want to make that clear. I walked into the restaurant. He was sitting at the bar, and it was cool. Everything was fine until he got up to go to the bathroom.
Oh boy.
And when he got up to go to the bathroom, when I turned and looked, he had hips.
Not the late hips.
He had hips.
Not the
And I
lady
could
hips.
not get past. I couldn't get past.
You're so shallow.
He had
I don't like that either.
he had hips. He had hips,
He
and
was
I
thick.
just couldn't get past it.
Bro was thick.
Just at the bottom. Just at the bottom.
That's how
That
we
was
like
the
'em.
thing.
Damn.
But I could not. I couldn't get
So
past it.
okay, hold time out. I just want to understand what you're trying to convey here. You said he had hips, meaning like really like he was out poking out.
Yes.
That's what kind of
He
jeans he had on some. He had on some form-fitting jeans.
Well, no, but the hips made him form fit him. Like he seriously had hips, like he had hips, and I just couldn't. Did y'all see? Oh
That's-
God, what show was that? Was that Martin? It was Girlfriends. Yeah. I don't know if you remember the show Girlfriends. Was it Jones
It was.
that had the issue? Yeah, she was dating somebody, and he had hips. Yo, and I couldn't get past it. You call me shallow if you want
So
to.
he was a
but I
nice
just
guy.
couldn't.
Question: nice guy, handsome. He had a good job.
Well, see, that was the other thing. He lied about his profession. So he claimed he worked in I don't even know wherever he claimed he worked. He did not.
He was a hip model.
Oh God.
He did boxer brief
Um,
commercials.
I was just done. I was done. I've never experienced anything like that, but I always wonder why he would always send me pictures like from it was just like the chest up.
So he knew it.
It was never but at that point I learned to ask for full body pictures or whatever. So, there was no surprises.
Is he on
But
social media? Can we look him up?
I don't even remember the dude's name. This was many years ago. So
I need to see this.
so it wasn't it wasn't a bad date. It was just a surprising.
So had he not gone to the
Date.
bathroom, you'd have been in. You'd have been like.
Well, he had to get up at
open.
some point, right? We had to walk out. So at some point he was going to reveal those hips. He kind of like went like this. You know what I'm saying? He didn't come up all the way out his chair. He just kind of, got up and like hugged me. And when he got up to go to the bathroom, I just happened to look and I said, and I was just done. The bartender just looked and shook his head.
He knew too.
And wiped the table. Yeah.
And see, Tosh, they try to dog me out about the one arm. This is just a minor
No,
thing right here.
no, it's not. Because you went all the way with the one arm.
I didn't know she had a one arm. I didn't know she had
That's
one
a
arm.
problem.
What? I didn't hear this.
Go ahead, tell your
No, no,
story.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
I want to hear about that.
Go and tell the story.
Tell it.
So when I was in my early 20s, I met this girl, right? So I would see her every week at this club in Wilmington. This club called the Comfort Zone. Every Thursday night, it was a joint. So it was wintertime. So every time I saw her, she had her coat on. So which is not unusual. It's wintertime. People sometimes have their coat on in the club. Keep in mind, I'm like 24, so I'm a little shallow, immature. Not like Shay, because they're hippie. So me and her vibing. So finally, like the third Thursday night, I see her. She's gonna come home with me. I was like, oh, I'm smashing, coming to the crib. So we're in the car driving. It's my homeboy, my idiot friend, who knew her from growing up. I didn't.
So he knew.
He knew, but I didn't know. So we're in the car. He's laughing all the way to our apartment. So me and my homeboy Vinny live together. And he was parked at our crib. So we get out there. I said, yo, why you keep laughing all stupid? And so he says, yo, I know Shorty from back in the day. I say, okay. He said, she got one arm. I said, what? So I'm thinking he messing with me, right? So I'm like, so now I'm looking at her like, what the fuck? So I see she had her coat on, but she always had her one arm in the other sleeve like this. So I don't know, ain't nothing in here. I don't know this. It's just a nub up here. It's just a little shoulder action. So we get upstairs, and I'm like, all right, I gotta figure this out. I'm drunk and I'm ready. I'm thinking, but I know if I don't see an arm, it's not happening for me. So we get upstairs, and I give her a T-shirt and some basketball shorts. I had the master bedroom of our apartment, so I had a bathroom in my apartment. So I give her the T-shirt and the shorts, and so she goes into the bathroom. So I miss her coming out. I'm talking to my boy in the hallway of the apartment. We bullshitting, and I turn around and she's already in the bed. I'm like, fuck, and she's got the covers up here. So at this point, I'm like, damn, this shit really got one on, cause I didn't. So we get in the bed, and so it was the left arm. So she is now laying on her left side. This arm is fully exposed out of the cover, so you're no baby. I got and I was just like, I can't do it. Like I didn't even make a move. I couldn't do it because as she rolled over, I never seen a girl with one arm before, let alone have one in my bed. She was fine too, body, everything. The missing arm, I couldn't do it. So, but that ain't got nothing on the hips.
Wait a minute,
That's
I'm
a
not done be
missing
the
limb.
judge of that.
That's a missing limb.
My story was way better than yours in regards to the missing arm.
You're shallow.
I'm
missing
I'm
arm.
You had a missing
she
arm.
told me about the arm first, and then, like Kim said, let me know these things, and then let me make a decision from there.
Exactly.
I might have took you home. I like to be hugged with two arms. You can't just hug me like this. How we gonna do that? That ain't right.
You know what?
I've been a
I'm
two-arm hugger
moving
my
on.
whole life.
I'm moving.
You're not gonna turn me into that. Just out here now, I'm all because all I get is hugs like this all the time. Now my shit all off. It wasn't time
I'm
for that
moving
yet.
on. I'm moving on.
Move on, shallow. My shallow friend. That's the last time I ever tell this story because it's a little embarrassing, actually.
Okay.
As funny as it is.
Anyway, ladies, what are your non-negotiables? Crickets.
What are your deal breakers? How about that?
You have to be a Christian man. That's my first one. You have to be a Christian.
Okay.
All right.
You sure already know.
I know that you like an atheist.
Oh my God.
I don't know about that. Anyway,
We'll
the
talk.
person that we know,
Oh, he is throwing you out. You know what?
that boy don't believe in God. Now go ahead. So he has to be a Christian.
Yeah, he has to be a Christian, and he has to have his own stuff because I have my own stuff. That's just not. That has to be a thing. He has to respect himself because if you don't respect yourself, you're not gonna respect me. I'll start with that.
Okay. All right. What about you?
So same with his own stuff. I'm tired of driving people around. I'm not picking you up from work. I'm not dropping you off for work. I'm not doing it. No.
I know that's right.
I feel like like I said, just not having goals for himself, not having something to work for, not having a job, or if you don't have a job, not looking for a job.
That's a problem.
Exactly. I think, I used to date people with kids. Obviously, my boyfriend doesn't have kids, but not taking care of your kids. That's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Because my dad definitely I had stepsisters and stepbrothers, so, but he still took care of his kids. So that's a huge thing for me.
Okay.
Right.
And what about you?
With Cam, he does have to be a Christian.
Okay.
I hope this doesn't sound shallow, but he has to be fly because I dress fly.
That's right. Hey, you gotta match your fly. Right.
But that can be taught. You can teach him.
That's true.
You can't teach.
He
that.
can have all of these other
It can be teachable.
these things, but he might not be on his clothing game, right? So that's because you fly. That's something that you can teach him. Come here, Bill. Hold on. I got you. Yeah, that's something you can teach.
He has to be. I'm sorry, but I'm big on communication. Don't text me. Call me, friend.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Communication has to be family oriented because I'm big and I want to bring you to my family cookouts and stuff, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So what if you meet the man has all those great qualities? You ladies all are just express. He's all of that. He look good, dress good,
And he got one on.
and he got one arm.
I knew you was going.
Can you rock with that great guy with all those great qualities? Single, no baby mamas, no kids, educated, got one arm.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Can you
Is
do
it
it?
hereditary?
can he get a fake arm?
If he wanted to, but it's gonna
asked a
steal a
lot of
little R2D2 arm.
I don't know, you guys.
You know what?
Be honest. Now see, and I'm gonna tell you why. I couldn't
Jesus.
meet a woman with that and date her. But if we were together and something happened, then that's different.
That's different, yeah.
But I'm not gonna see you across the bar and go step to you and you just over there hot hater with the one joint.
I feel like this question's extreme.
But I just want to know. I want to see how shallow you are or not. Could you do it? Okay, say you got an arm, right? But he got a little hand like this or something. Could you do it?
This is really going left. I can't with you. I can't.
No
Could
comment.
you do it? He's always in good scratching position. See if your back.
So annoying.
Okay, you know what?
See if you need to scratch. You need your back scratch. He's ready all the time.
Y'all don't pay attention to it.
Veronica.
Oh my god.
Veronica, you can get your back scratch anytime you want.
How big?
In bed, you can just roll over on his hand and there it is.
How big is looks for you guys? Like, if the person like, what is the first thing that attracts you to the first thing you notice about a man?
I don't necessarily care about looks that much.
Mm-hmm.
You could be like a 6.
In the face?
Yeah. I like mine a little ugly. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Medium ugly.
Okay.
I'm okay with
I
that.
never heard that before. That's
I'm
medium
medium.
ugly. I like that.
To me, we need to compliment each other.
Mm-hmm.
People like, oh, they good together. They cute. Yeah, that's,
Mhm.
you know, we both look good.
Mm-hmm.
If I look good, my man need to look good. I'm sorry. We gonna look good together.
Okay.
If I'm getting a fresh cut, babe, you getting a fresh cut too.
Hey, G.
That's how we rolling.
Hey, G.
All right. What about
looks
you?
doesn't matter to me. It's more personality because
Mhm.
looks can kind of like fade over time, but
Mhm.
personality.
That's
If,
true.
if I don't like you, then I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're fine. You can be like a quote unquote ugly.
Okay.
What
How
about
are
you, Say?
What?
What,
keep
what do you,
saying-
what do you? Are looks? How important are looks to you?
See, if Levante is listening or she's watching this, she
Call
would
in,
have something.
Levante.
She would have something to say because we've talked about this before, and she was like, "Oh, her men been fine." Okay, listen, no, it's really, honestly, it's really about how you treat me. It's really about how you treat me. Of course, we all have eyes, so there's certain things that you notice. Like the first thing I do notice on men, honestly, is for a while it was their shoes. It was really their shoes. That would be one of the things I would look at is their shoes. Some people look at their watch. Some people look at certain things,
About
but
teeth. Are teeth important?
stuff
Do you
like
have all
that.
your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Side teeth.
But I think after experience, and I'm much older than these ladies. You learn to really think about what's really important. What is it that you need and you require? And looks is not always at the top of the list. I mean,
But the older you get, that takes on less importance.
Absolutely, it does take less
I think.
importance. Even when it comes down to body wise, you may have been dating somebody or with someone that had a six pack all the time, and now it might not look like that now. So it's really about what's important if they're adding to you and not taking away. But if he happened to be fine, then that's a plus. But it's not a big requirement. Now it can't be something only a mother could love.
Ooh, child. Is it true
Something you
that,
only can take out at night. What?
is it true that women don't want a man that don't nobody else want though? Don't you want other women not to the point where he's gonna go and act on it, but you want somebody that's gonna desire a man a little bit, right? Or like, damn girl, okay. Because when I was younger, it was important for me to be told by my older brothers, like, okay, little bro, she bad, Not now, but when I was younger, like that's how young men find validation in what they're doing. You want to be acknowledged, like, okay, dog, by your homeboys, by your uncles, by your brothers. Do women need that validation? As far as
So my personal opinion, if we're together, and my whole thing is, women are gonna look at you. So it is
Right.
what it is.
Mhm.
My whole thing is what you do behind my back when I'm not with you. Because the only way a woman wants you is because you're entertaining it. So I feel like the man should, people are gonna say, "Oh, you're attractive." People are gonna give you compliments, and that's fine. But my whole thing is what you do behind my back.
right,
So as my man, you need to be able to be like, "Thank you," and keep it moving.
right.
You don't have to engage like, "Oh yeah, because I know women are going to look.
Right.
I mean, that's just
And they're very bold in 2022. To be
yeah, they're very
honest.
bold. So you know,
It's hard out here for a brother that's got a woman.
so you
Stay
can't-
bold.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you cannot stop another woman from looking at your man. It's just what your man does when he gets that compliment or he's approached.
Right. I feel you. That makes sense.
I'm not that experienced with having like a boyfriend or anything, or like being publicly out there with a guy saying like, "Oh, we're together." You know what I mean? So like, I don't want anybody looking at him, but I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
You
know.
want nobody looking at you?
I don't get jealous or anything. I just, we be chilling. Like, I don't know. I don't really think about that type of stuff. I know it sounds weird.
No,
I don't know.
it just sounds like you're a secure person. That's
Yeah,
all.
I don't really think
Which
about it.
that's important.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's important to be.
That's my answer.
It's important to be secure. You know.
But what Paige said makes sense though. It's not. Of course, if you other women or men are gonna look at your woman and vice versa, it is. What
There's
you do
somebody
with
for
that.
there's somebody for everybody. Trust
Right.
me. Your man could be very ugly, and there's still gonna be somebody that is looking at him, or want him, or whatever. Because just like. Just no, because I'm thinking. I know crickets, right? Because here's the thing. I think for men, it doesn't matter what they really kind of look like. It's really about their sweat. No. I've seen not handsome men. I've seen men that were very heavy, but their swag
Right.
was bringing in, like, all the ladies want to be around them.
I've seen that. Too.
Yeah, their swag, or this one guy in particular, I never forget. He reminded me of Heavy D. He was so light on his feet. Dude had to be about 400 some pounds,
He could dance.
but his swag and how he moved, girls was on him. They loved him.
Smell good.
They loved the confidence, loved him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it's easier for a man to be able to do that than it is for females, because we have this ideal of what a woman should look like and what she should be. What'd you say? Yeah. So we have this ideal social media put out there what women are supposed to look like, and when they're not looking like that, it's like, okay.
But I think it's kind of turning into that, because if you go into your little search on Instagram or whatever, depending on what you look at the most, you're gonna see a bunch of dudes with muscles and are working out. Like, women are attracted to that also. Maybe not the personality that comes with a person who looks that way, but you are physically attracted to how that guy looks.
But those are not the guys that we would want to date.
I know. I'm just saying though that it's just aesthetically, women find those things appealing, like men find women with whatever appealing.
Right. But 9 times out of 10, the men are going to want to go after the women that y'all find appealing. The guys that we may say, oh, he look good, those are not the dudes we really want to date and be with. We might just be like, oh, that's cool.
And sometimes
But,
those aren't the women we really want to date. We see their body and dudes just want to like hit. So don't mistake it for me wanting to. Because if I see you half naked in the club, I'm really not taking you seriously. Like, if you got everything out. Now, not saying that I won't, like, but that don't mean I want you to be my girl. I'm not going to take you around my parents, my mom, them, you got all your ass out. Like, if you wear that in a club, like, where is, in my mind, and women are free to dress however they want to. Let me say that. I'm just saying, for me, if I'm looking for a mate, I'm not looking for her to be a mate. I might be looking for her to have some fun with, though. So I think, I'm not speaking for every man, but I think a lot of men think about it on those terms. Yeah, I like, Martin said that one time when Kenya Moore was on the show, I like them classy and not assy. I like them classy. That's just me.
Yeah. Does it matter how many children in regards to the guys that you're dating?
What's the cutoff number?
2.
How many
Okay.
baby mamas? Is that one baby mama or 2 baby mamas?
One.
You gotta be with the same person? I'm just asking.
Yes, because if it's more than that, I'm looking at you like, why do you have 2? What happened that didn't work out? Like, what happened?
Twice.
Twice.
Didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
It's 2 child supports.
Okay.
That check get cut in half. How many is too many, ladies?
I'll go first. I usually date guys that don't have kids. I prefer you not to have kids. I dated a guy that did not have a kid when I first started dating him, and then one popped up. DNA test, ended up finding out whatever, and we had to deal with that. But he backtracked on that situation, and isn't that usually what happens? Like, I don't, so that
The
kind of
backtrack mean with the mom of that kid?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, see, I knew I should have just backed out. That's why I don't do it. Now that I'm getting older, I just, accept that people have kids. I have my own child. There's no backtracking going on here. Hasn't been anything going on in years. But it just depends. So one, I guess two, how old is a child first? I don't want to date anybody with a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3, 5, 6, more up. How long ago did you stop messing with the baby mom, child's mother? It's, I get really specific because I just been, jacked up from all that.
Yeah, that's important.
That is important.
Yeah, those conversations are important. What about you?
So I have dated men with children, and just based off of previous experiences, moving forward, if that baby is not 5 or older, I'm just
gotta be school age.
Yeah, gotta be school age. Because I feel like if not, I just feel like they might not want each other, but there's still a connection. So with that being said, we can't do that. So moving forward, if I choose to date someone with a child, they need to have one baby, one mom, and the boy or girl needs to be over 5.
Well, and just for the record, one thing we should think about too is, so I have my oldest daughter is not with my wife. So my oldest daughter is 23, right? So there will always be a connection to her mother, not that kind of connection, but because we share this young adult. So that's our connection right there. So that would never go away. I think it just depends on how the man and the woman, like, it has to be to a point where neither one of them want the other person. Because if one of them is still all in on that person, it's going to be a problem. So even if so it doesn't matter how old the kid is, they have to be completely done with each other. Because if not, if the mom is still into him or if he's still remotely into her, it's going to sabotage any future relationship. So it has to get beyond the point of, you don't have to be, well, I can't stand him or her anymore, but you have to have moved on. And it's strictly about our kid.
And I'm fine with that. And like you said, you're right. Let me rephrase my words. There probably is going to be a connection because of the child, but there needs to be healthy boundaries.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Agreed.
When you don't nip things in the bud, it just goes haywire. You have to say, these are, my boundaries, and you have to make sure everybody understands, all parties involved, because as soon as, boundaries are overstepped, obviously becomes a problem. So, just establishing,
So basically, my dad had the last baby mom. My dad had hated me and my mom because I think she was still in love with my dad, so she hated me. So I had to deal with it.
Wow.
And that's where the grown people can see. Kids are normally okay till the adults mess it up. Like, adults can really ruin stuff, and this is why it's important to communication, which y'all have talked about all night. The grown people got to sit down and have a conversation. Because if we have a little kid and I'm dropping them off every other weekend, I'm seeing her twice a month or whatever it might be. There has to be all 3 of y'all, and maybe even her new man need to sit down and the 4 adults need to have a conversation. I'm a strong believer in a little bit of conversation goes a long way, and it does set those boundaries. We're all here. These are the expectations for all of us in regards to this child, and that's that. And we don't renege on that. We don't go back. We don't move forward or do anything outside of the box of what we've set forth. And if you do that, you can be fine. If the kid could be 3 or 23, you got to have that conversation.
And I think when you have children involved, number one, you got to be very careful. Nobody should be meeting your child on a just dating thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that children are off bounds because of the fact that it might not work out, and now your child is attached to that person, right? So you got to be careful. And plus, you don't know who you're dating. You don't know what the past is, what the history is. You're still trying to get to know them. And I see a lot of people make the mistake by bringing people around their kids that they're just now learning themselves, and it's just not safe. Not today, because you have too many child predators out here. So it's so important, and that definitely was a strict strict rule for me. Like you did not meet my kids. You wasn't coming to my house. You wasn't doing any of that. That was just one of the things that's really important. So, that's just my thoughts.
I feel you. I agree. Especially you have boys, but it's just as important because men are doing creepy stuff to little boys.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
with my daughters, I'm definitely like protective. My child doesn't spend the night with anybody to this day. Her friends come to our house, which is odd to me because I'd be like, hell no, we don't know what's it. But it happens, and there's a trust there. But not that I don't trust people, I just rather err on the side of caution because if that happens to your child, it can really send them in a bad way for a long time. It's hard sometimes it's hard for kids to come back from that and have a productive, So yes, I agree, Shay. Meeting the children right away.
Yeah.
I also think that people think that there needs to be a beef between the new girlfriend or somebody you're dating and the child's parent also.
Right.
It's called healthy co-parenting. I come from a blended family, so that was normal in my house. My stepmom's ex-husband and his new family were over. That's my family. It was normal. So as long as everybody's okay with each other, everything
That's
should
how
be
it
fine.
should be.
Yeah.
I think it's
To
normal.
me.
That's why I grew up
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, has there been preparation, or what preparation have you guys taken for yourselves to know that you're ready to be with someone? Are you dating with a purpose, or are you just dating just to have fun? Because some people are just dating just to have fun, just to explore. And then you have people that are dating with intentions. Like, I'm dating because I want to be in an exclusive relationship that leads to marriage. Which one are you? Well, I know you already in. You got your boo thing.
You trying to get married?
So
at some
we're
point?
about.
Hold on, real quick. So what's the time frame of this relationship before marriage? You're not gonna date them for 7 years?
Oh, no, not 7 years. Oh, no. The max is probably 3.
And then I need to have a ring by 3 or married by 3 years.
I don't care about the marriage. I need the ring.
Okay.
Yeah. So we know that we're getting married. There's a tension there.
So what if you
Okay.
engaged for about 5 years?
Then I'm out.
You got to be clear, sis. You got to be clear.
3 and 3, okay? 3
Okay.
and 3 back
That's
to back.
fair. I like that. 3 and 3.
No, that's it.
When's the book come out?
What book?
The 3 and 3 book. The 3 and 3 rule. You need to go and put that together for the people in the back that ain't listening tonight.
Okay. What about you, ladies?
Okay.
So currently at the moment, I am not dating. I'm just taking time for myself because there's some things that I need to work on. I will admit I can be a little bossy. So there's so, a little demanding. So there are some things that I need to work on. But when I do get myself in a position where I do want to date again, I'm dating with a purpose. I want to be somebody's wife. I want to have
Good for
kids.
you.
I want to have a family. So I am dating, with intention.
Good for you.
I love it.
Where did bossiness come from? I'm just curious.
It's your mother side.
Mom, if you're listening, I love you.
Got an 8-page, let that bossiness, you got to learn how to work around it. You got to make us feel like we running
I was
things
about to
without
say
us
that. I was
running
about to
things.
say that.
See, my thing is, if y'all see, that's my problem.
You gotta play. You gotta learn how to play. Tell them how to finesse. You gotta know. I get finesse every day in my house. I think I'm running shit, and I'm probably really not.
Yeah.
It's a Jedi mind trick being played on me every day.
And you can say the same thing, but you're saying it. You say it from a different with love. Okay, baby. Yeah, sure. You say the same exact thing you would say, but you add "baby, I love you" and all that to it. You good. Yeah.
That's true.
Just throw some sweetness
Some kind of
behind
physical
it.
touch
You
behind
know.
it.
I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. Yeah.
Add life coach to her
Yeah.
other titles.
You know what would be awesome?
What?
If you would get that, if you take that trash out right now, that would be like really awesome. That would make me feel really good.
That's your voice, man?
Special.
That's for the trash. That's how you do
Yeah,
it.
I'm just saying.
It is
I'm
trash
just
in the studio.
saying.
Here, take this
Like
shit
you
out
throw
right
it,
there.
you just throw the little sweetness behind it,
Because I'm like,
and still,
I'm like, you gonna get that trash? That's what
yeah.
So tell us, Shay. It ain't what you say.
It's how you say it.
Work on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Shay smooth over
That's
here.
how you say
Real
it.
smooth.
Real smooth. I'm going to take out the garbage in the studio. You say that shit one more time, Shay. I'm going to go outside and move that whole dumpster. If you say it like that, would take my truck and move the dumpster. Or dump all this shit in the back of my truck like a garbage truck. Stop talking to people like that.
What about you?
I go in and out of dating. Like I obviously when I date with a purpose. And then I'm like, if it's not something working out, then I'm like, oh, let me stop. And I've done a lot of work on myself, so I'm definitely ready to move forward. You know, I want to obviously get married, have more kids. You know, but dating with a purpose, definitely.
Yeah.
So I just have to like put myself out there more. Cause I'll stay in the house, and I'm like, why? You know, why is nothing happening? You have to go outside.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to date with social media. That's annoying. That's a whole other situation. Whole nother topic. But yeah.
How many kids do y'all want?
2.
Boy and girl? I'm assuming.
I don't care. As
Okay.
long as they're healthy.
With all their limbs. How many kids you want, Paige?
We'll see how the first one turns out. That
I dare you. Good answer. Good answer.
Cam, you want? How many more you want?
I already have my one, and she's like old, so you know maybe I need to have two more.
Boys?
No,
You like a boy?
I'm a girl mom. I don't like trucks and dinosaurs, Spider-Man. You know, I love Spider-Man, but
You
not
would,
all
though.
that in my. No, I'm not
You
about
would.
that life.
You would.
I'm a girl mom. I'm a girl mom.
Do you wish you had a girl?
Tattoos, you know, bows.
Me? Oh no.
Boys?
The hair thing.
It's a lot. It's a job.
It's no. I love having sons. I really do. It's just a sense of, especially the age that they are now. They got my back. They look after their mom.
They
You know what I'm
definitely do.
saying? And it's just a sense of protection that I even feel from them at the age that they are. My boys are 17 and 16 now. Yeah, so I do. I love having boys, and I'm sure I would love having a daughter. You know, but they're. So as a therapist, I worked with a lot of adolescents, females. So I see the struggles that, you know, they go through at a certain age. And I'm like, ooh, I'm so glad I got sons. Because it's a different, all
Somebody
kids
else
go
daddy
through
can deal
it.
with that. Mama
But
can
it's
deal with them problems.
it's definitely different, you know. So yeah, I think we're blessed with what we're supposed to have. And you know, if I think if you happen to have a son, I think you will adjust just fine.
Right.
You know, you would adjust just fine. Because what, you not gonna love him?
My baby.
Get the
Yeah.
barbershop get hit on by the barbers now.
Yeah. So I'm a boy mom. So yes, it's just been an honor. So we are at the end of the show. I think one of the things that I do want to say, just with the whole dating thing, some of the things that I have heard is from men is if women want us to approach them, they have to stop going out in groups with their girlfriends, because men become intimidated to approach a group of women versus if the young lady is just by herself at the bar or just eating by herself. And now I'm starting to see a lot of women going out by themselves, because that is the thing. They're starting to understand that men don't want to approach a group of women. Now you have men that do it, but to really talk, they'd rather for you to be one-on-one, you know? So that is some of the things that I'm hearing. Do you guys, do you understand where that's coming from, or you don't understand it?
I don't go out in a group. If I'm going out, it's with one person, you know, another person. I don't know. I don't feel like I look that intimidating. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
the
it's
group itself is intimidating. Yeah. Yeah, and then want to ask all the questions and want to, you know, so, you know, and I could see that, you know, I could see that happening. And then the other thing was, well, where do you go to meet men, right? Go where they are. Steakhouses, sports bar, Top Golf.
Cigar lounge.
You know, cigar lounges, you know. Home Depot.
that is a good point. Or
You
they-
know,
or they
grocery
working on
store,
somebody's
you
house.
know,
They got a job.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, ladies, for joining us, you know, and sharing your stories with us. I wish you guys the best of luck, and, you know, on your search But don't settle. Be very intentional and know what it is that you want. And make sure you're giving those things to yourself first. Because if you're not giving them to yourself, you can't expect someone else to give them to you. Love yourself. Make sure you love yourself and you're dating yourself and you're doing all those things. Like you say, you're making time for yourself. I keep hitting my mouth with this mic. You making your time for yourself and you're working on yourself. That is so important.
That is true.
It is so important. It is no rush because when you're ready and he will come. He will come. When you ain't even got to look for him. He just going to appear and show up. Right? And everything will align. Everything will be in order. So sometimes it gets lonely in that wait. But, don't settle. I heard you said, I'm going to keep it real. Yeah, there's times I have lowered my standards. I don't think you have to lower your standards. I think sometimes we have unrealistic goals of people or expectations that we might put on this list that we have about what we want. And it's very unrealistic because we're not even that ourselves, right? So, but you don't lower your standards. You know what you want. You know what's important for you. I ain't looking on your end because you don't. You
got the game figured out.
But even still, something might come up in that situation. You know what's important to you, and if that is not happening, if you're dating with intentions, then you got to be okay. If this is not changing, it's not going to change later. So either you're going to be okay with it for long term, or this is not working for me, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Right. So again, thank you guys for joining us. Any last minute comments or anything you guys got anything going on you want the people to know about?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well, it's been great talking to you, ladies. I hope you guys come back. Thank you. I think it was a great conversation and a conversation that needed to be had. Definitely shout out to Priscilla Isabel, Eileen Williams, Darrell Rella Delic, and Shonda Johnson. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. So guys, I want you to keep in mind we have the Rebirth Live Volume 2.
I was waiting to tell you.
You waiting for it? Volume 2 coming up November 5th. Guys, you got to come out. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. If you go to Rebirth Live, the number 2.eventbrite.com. Cop your tickets. Now, the tickets are on sale currently right now, early bird special for $30. That will end on September 20th. They will go to regular price, which is, I believe, is $40. We have a live DJ.
It's what you've been waiting for. The Rebirth with your host, Shay Marriott. Let's go. And Eli Isabel.
Yes, we have an awesome panel. And speaking of the panel,
It's what you've been
Live, Love, Lust, and Relationships, Volume 2. Our guest, we have Mr. Corey Wilkerson is going to be joining us.
Back in the building.
Yes, Corey is definitely a friend to the show. So we're excited to have him back. He was on our first Rebirth Live, and he is coming back again. And then we also have Me Shaq Stinnett, also known as Radio Shack, is going to be joining us.
In the building, my guy.
So, yes, he is the ambassador of Del State University. So we are excited to have Me Shaq with us as one of the guest panelists. And we're going to be announcing the upcoming guest panelists every week leading up to the show. So if you have not gotten your tickets, make sure you go to Eventbrite right now, and copy your tickets. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been a great conversation.
Thank you, ladies.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eli.
Thank you, Shay.
Yep, I appreciate you. And guys, next time I talk to you, I will be the Big 50. So
Wow.
I will see you guys next Monday. Have a great week. God bless.